Welcome to the R&B Lady Sports Talk. My name is Yolanda Bridges, and along with me is my friend, my sister, my ace, Pamela Ross. And together we're going to talk about some of our favorite sports moments that's been going on this week. Now, I know there's a lot of buzz and a lot of itch to start talking about football, but before we do that, let's go to the world of basketball right now. Let's talk about the 10-time WNBA All-Star Tamika Catchings, who will be retiring at the end of her season this year. She played her last regular season game, beating the Dallas Wings 83 to 60. She finished that game with 16.7 rebounds. Tamika started her collegiate career under Pat Summitt, the late great Pat Summitt, over at Tennessee. She won 2 national championships, and she also appeared in 4 consecutive Olympic Games. Tamika was drafted to the Indiana Fever in 2002 and played her entire career for 14 years with the Indiana Fever. She's going to retire with a numerous amount of accolades in multiple areas, to include 5-time Defensive Player of the Year. She was voted MVP for the WNBA Finals in 2002, and she right now is the leading scorer from the free throw line. So again, we like to congratulate Tamika Catchings on an amazing career and just say thanks for helping to shape women's basketball to what it is today.
Congratulations, Tamika Catchings. We look forward to seeing what you have to offer in the off season, and we look off the court, and we look forward to seeing you in the playoffs. I do understand that your team has made the playoffs, so congratulations on all the a successful career, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
All right, now that we got that out the way, let's head on over to football. But hold on, Pam. Before we start talking about college, we got to hit the NFL real quick. So there's a couple of teams that I want to talk about in particular. I did get to watch multiple games again on Sunday, but the 2 games that stood up in my mind, one is the Seattle Rams game. I was a little bit embarrassed of our score. We only got 3 points on the board. The final score was 3-9. And I guess my question is who's calling the offense over in the Seahawks Nation? Is it Pete Carroll? Is it the offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevel? Is it Russell Wilson making poor decisions? I just don't understand what's going on. He still has a terrific arsenal. He has his tight end, Jimmy Graham. He has 2 decent receivers in Lockett and Curse. But is Marshawn Lynch's absence right now that big of an impact on their offense? I'm just not sure. I'm not seeing it.
Well, you want to know about the offense. I want to know about that Rams defense. That Rams defense. Yeah, I mean, defense wins the games, right? Offense can put up the points, but if the defense is stopping them, if the defense has their number, then there's no points to be made. So I feel like the coaches for the Rams have really watched a lot of film. They've watched the calling, the play calling, and the designs, the run designs and the throw designs for Russell Wilson. And it is a little different for him because he has lost a couple of players he's used to going to. But I feel like overall that people are starting to really, really, really pay attention. They're amping up their defense, so whatever. They're really getting used to these running / pocket pass quarterbacks or whatever, and they're learning how to play against them. So I feel like the Rams did a good job on their defense. Seattle definitely has a lot of work to do, but I do feel like they'll be in the postseason. So don't worry so much right now.
Well, I'm going to say blah, blah, blah to defense, because we're talking about at one point he was the leading quarterback rusher out in the NFL. In 2014, he had over 800 yards rushing. So let me just do the math real quick. Game 1, he had 4 carries with 16 yards. Game 2, he had 5 carries and 15 yards. Now I might have that a little bit backwards, but nonetheless, total for the last 2 games, it's 30 yards for Russell Wilson. So let's do some more math. If you multiply 30 times 16 games of the season, that's only going to get you 240 rushing yards. Seahawks is going to be home faster than Usain Bolt can run the 100. I'm just saying. I'm going to need them to get it together regardless of what's going on.
And I do, right. I do believe they'll pull it together for you. I do. Come on, Russell Wilson, pull through.
I'm gonna need. All right, so let's talk about the game of the week. It's gonna be, of course, you see my eye roll, Cowboys and the Redskins. All right. So just to caveat a little bit what I talked about last week, I said I didn't like the way Cousins looked. Well, this week he looked a little bit better. And he was on a roll, Pam. He was moving his line and he was getting them downfield. And you was like, all right, come on, Redskins. And then what he did, threw that pick in the fourth quarter. And that's what I believe helped seal the deal for the Cowboys. They made that interception and they got fired up and they put that win away. He's going to have to do a lot better. But what I seem to like about Dak Prescott, it isn't a one-man show. He is using all of his cylinders. Everything's a go. He was hitting Dez Bryant. He was hitting Beasley. He was hitting Ezekiel Elliott. He was hitting Jason Witten. He was using everybody. So once again, I find myself saying, oh, look, the
See, it's
Cowboys.
like that love-hate relationship. You don't want to like the Cowboys. You're just not a Cowboys fan, but you got to be in love with Dak Prescott and the way he's working that offense. He is pulling everybody together. Like you said, he's using the people that he has. He's using his big-time go-to person, Dez Bryant. He's using his running back. So he's running that offense or whatever. His offensive line is giving him time to throw that ball, to set up the plays or whatever. They're working with him on a rookie level, but he's making big time plays. So I feel like Dallas may be on a roll. I don't know that Romo is going to have a place in that offense anymore, to be honest. He will come back. I do know that Jerry Jones loves him. He is the Cowboys franchise quarterback. He has a few more years with them. He will be back. I hate to break it to you, Yolanda. He will be back. And for that very reason, Dallas will not make the playoffs.
Yet again. You see me looking at you right now. I'm looking at you right now. Okay.
It is what it is.
All right.
So, I feel like Dak Prescott is the future of that team, and that they really need to continue to work with him or whatever. He's going to bring a lot of wins to them.
All right. So I know it's early. I know it's early in the season. It's only the first 2 weeks. But if you had to pick a number one team right now out of those undefeated teams, who would that be? Who stands out in your mind?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with the national champs and go with the Broncos. Everybody expected them to flop and fail because they had that new quarterback that's never played in the NFL. He's a rookie, just like a lot of the rookies on the other teams or whatever. But right. He has stepped up. He stepped up big. They've gotten wins. They haven't necessarily meshed completely, but their defense is powerful. They're still riding that high from the Super Bowl win. So I'm going with the Broncos until they prove me otherwise.
Okay, I could see that. So, out of the 0-2 teams, who surprises you that they haven't been able to pull it together just yet?
I'm surprised that the Colts haven't been able to pull it together. I would expect them to have gotten at least one win on the season, 1-2, 1-1. But they have Andrew Luck. They're still working out a few kinks and things with the offense or whatever. They will pull it together. I do expect to see them in the postseason, but right now they're still trying to work through a lot of things with that offense. Their defense needs to work on getting the other team off the field on those 3 and outs so that they're not winded. They can get the offense on the field. They can play a little bit longer. They can kind of work and get down the field instead of getting 3 and outs and off the field. So I feel like once the defense and the offense starts to mesh well, they'll definitely be a team to watch for in the postseason.
All right. Well, I also want to just add out there with the defense, that they are just in their defense missing 5 corners. So I think 5 corners have gone down with injuries. So I don't know. I just hope that you can't use that as an excuse, though, because there's a lot of injuries going on right now in the league. So
that's true. And that is a lot of, corners or any position to lose for any NFL team or collegiate team or anyone else. But I feel like, there's a lot of players out there to be grabbed up, throw them in there, get them ready. Let's get some wins. There's no excuse. Right. We're talking about big boy football here. We're talking about the pros. So there's people out there. There's guys out there that can handle that position. There's guys out there to play. Let's get them on the team. Let's get them, some reps and see where it goes.
Okay, I feel you there. So let's move on to college, because I know you got some points that you are itching to let the world know. Let it out, Pam.
Yes. So let's start off with our game of the week. My game of the week, everybody else's game of the week, which I'm not referring to USC and Stanford, by the way. I'm referring to that Louisville and Florida State game. Louisville came out at the start of that game, they came out hot. They came out ready. They had a point to prove, and they proved that point 5 times over. That quarterback that they have, Lamar Jackson, is Heisman Trophy candidate, hands down. He is a runner. He's a passer. He knows how to work that offense. He knows how to read the defense very well or whatever. Louisville was one of those teams that came in ranked, but very, underranked. But they are proving points every week or whatever. And I do believe that they're going to be a team to watch for in the postseason. We are going to have some spectacular football coming up. I'm going to jump from week 4 to week 5 where they meet Clemson. Again, Clemson played not a great team this past week. South Carolina State, but we've been giving Clemson a lot of heat. You haven't played well, you haven't played any ranked teams, and you're not scoring a lot of points. Well, they proved us wrong on Saturday. They came out firing away. Deshaun Jackson, they put up a lot of points in the first quarter. Quarterback looked great, offense looked great, defense looked great. They they shortened that game in the second half or whatever because it was so dominant for Clemson that they shortened it from 15-minute quarters to 12-minute quarters or whatever, just to save face, I guess, or whatever, to give the team a break because there clearly wasn't any type of competition there. We move on to Michigan. Michigan plays. Go ahead.
First of all, let me just say, I ain't never heard in my whole life where we get to shorten some quarters, but okay. And then we can't not talk about the man from South Carolina who decided that when he caught that ball in the end zone, that he was just going to toss the ball to the ref, not down the play, and the ref just threw his hands up and said, I don't want it.
I'm out. I'm done. I ain't got nothing to do with this. This on you, young man. You better figure it out. Listen,
that's right.
I don't know what that young man was thinking. I don't know if he wasn't reading the scoreboard like all the rest of us was reading, or if he was just frustrated with himself. But clearly someone needs to tell him, sir, when you catch that ball in the end zone, you need to get down on one knee. Get down on one knee. It's not a proposal. It's just to call the play dead. Don't take it personal.
Clemson.
Right. Hey, and it wasn't like Clemson needed any help running away with that game. But we've been seeing that along, with a lot of other bonehead plays where they cross the, goal line, and they drop the ball right before they cross the goal line. That's happened since week 1. Let's go. This is basic, simple Pee-wee football. Let's stay focused, guys. We need to get those touchdowns because that will be the make or break for some of these teams out there. That one touchdown that we need. Hey, if you're not willing to take that ball across the goal line, hey, you don't deserve the touchdown. Moving right along, we had Michigan that is ranked number 4 that struggled coming out of the gates playing Colorado. They did readjust at halftime and get a big win at the end, but I don't feel like Michigan has done anything over the season to prove that they need to be number 4. Again, playing Colorado and struggling in the first half just proved my point. We'll see. They have some big games coming up later in the season. We'll see how it fares. Ohio State played Oklahoma. Ohio State got that win. They came in ranked, I believe, number 3. They played Oklahoma and won impressively, completely knocked Oklahoma out of the playoff contingency. Oklahoma came in ranked, I do believe, number 3, lost the first game to Houston, and then they just lost again to Ohio State, so they're out of the playoffs. Another loss that another team that's out of the playoffs will be Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost in their first game to Texas, and then they lost again to Michigan State. Michigan State is a sleeper team that we haven't even mentioned this season yet, but they're always lurking around in that top 10, 12, top 10, 15 or whatever. Last year they were really high ranked. I believe they were up in the top 5 even last year, and pretty much annihilated by Alabama in the playoff games. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, and you can see my eye rolls, but keep going.
I can see all that. There's no need for the hate. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Another team that was boosted high up and then had a disappointing loss. Texas came out strong that first week, beat Notre Dame, had an unranked team last week and came out this week with California and was a bust. So Texas, still a growing program or whatever. We expect to see great things for them in the future, but right now they still need a lot of work. So keep working, keep chugging along. We'll keep rooting for you, Texas, but this year's not going to be your year. And that leads me to my final and favorite team, Alabama. Look, I know attitude. I need to put a smile on your face like I was smiling when you were talking about the Seahawks. Smile, girl, smile. Alabama. We played Ole Miss this weekend. One of our nemesis. They've beat us the last 2 years, as everybody know. We came out. We were determined this year to get this win. It's imperative. They had to get this win. There's no way that Alabama would have made it into the championships, I feel, with the loss this early in the season and with the schedule that they have with the amount of unranked teams that we're playing. I don't feel like we would have made it back to be in playoff contingency. So Alabama, what did we do? We came out slow. We came out sloppy. Our offense looked terrible. We had this freshman quarterback that you could tell he was a freshman. He was overwhelmed. He was outplayed by the defense. And what happened? Our defense and our special teams rallied around him. They picked up the slack. They said, okay, we're not getting it. Offense is not cutting it. We need to pick up the slack. So the defense started pressuring that quarterback. They started getting sacks. We got a defensive touchdown. We got a special teams touchdown. So we pulled back within, I believe, 3 before the half. No, maybe not 3, but maybe a touchdown. And then started off in the second half, started out strong or whatever. Here we go. We're blazing. Oh, we're up now. Game over. We've scored. We're up by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. 5 minutes left in the game. What does Alabama do? We go back to the same things we do. So we're playing sloppy. Ole Miss. Yeah, I see that eyebrow raise. I was raising my eyebrow. My hair was sticking off my head. Everything. I was ready to shut them down. So, Ole Miss, had an onside kick. We fumbled the ball. They got a quick touchdown, and here we are within a 4 or 5 point game in the last few minutes of this game. They pulled it out. Very sloppy game from start to finish. Overall, I was very impressed with the defense. Very impressed with the special teams. Offense got to step it up, and we'll see where the season leads us. We got a lot of football left. We got a lot of great teams in the top 5 right now. A lot of teams trying to get in the top 5. So there's been upsets every week since the first week in college football. So I'm excited to see where this season leads us.
Well, it is early, like you say, and we shall see.
Yes.
Well, as our broadcast comes to an end and we're leaving behind some spectacular football, week 3 in college and week 2 in the NFL. There were a lot of amazing plays that we got to see, some amazing touchdown catches, rushes, passes, but still my favorite touchdown is week 1 Eagles with Jason Peters, number 71, catching Ryan Matthews, number 24, into the end zone. Just take a look and see for yourself what I'm talking about. 220 pounds. He catches 220 pounds in midair like he's in the ballet or in Broadway. Simply beautiful, simply amazing. And this is going to go down as one of my most favorite touchdowns of the year.
Pure sportsmanship.
Well, there you have it, folks. Just a couple of ladies offering you our opinions and how we feel like things should be out here in sports land. Hope you join us again for another season of the R&B Lady Sports Talk, where you don't have to be a man to be a fan. See you soon.